YouTube
Yeah, yeah.
show page?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me send it
I
right
want to
now.
send
But
this out to my
yes,
peoples.
sir. Yes, sir. Everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. And I have the brother Holip Sism on with us today. And today's topic, and let me start off with this. I'm gonna give a sincere disclaimer. Yeah, it's gonna be quick to the point. If Africa wins or when Africa wins, we all win.
Right.
When Nigeria wins, when Tanzania wins, South Africa, we all win. When black
Right.
people in Brazil win, black people in America win, everyone, if you're black on a planet, wins. So let me start off with that.
Hmm.
But today's topic is dusty African disclaimers. Don't bring your Western mindset to Africa. Now, and I'm just gonna need a couple minutes, hold up, and then I'm gonna pass it off to you. I
Go
gotta
for
set
it.
it up real quick. So and let me send you that link as well. But I remember, Holip, first time I was going to Africa, I was going to Tanzania, right? And I remember my African friend, because it was 2011, I knew I was going to Tanzania, and I'm like, let me find. I was in LA, Los Angeles, California. That's where I lived at the time, and I was like, let me find some African people, because I'm excited. I'm going back to the motherland. I cannot wait. So let me spread the good news to my African brothers and sisters. So I would, run into them and I would tell them, hey, your Black American brother is going home to Africa. And hold up, they would say, that is great. That is awesome. But I got the same consistent disclaimer. Don't bring your Western mentality to Africa. I said, okay. I understand. Okay. So hold up. I get to Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, right? Walk out the airport, catch a cab, get to my hotel. So off top, I was thinking that, okay, well, this is Africa. Ain't nothing but black people in Africa. I know it's Africa. It's only black people in Africa. So my hotel was owned by Indians. I start to walk around the city of Dar es Salaam. Just about everything is owned by Indians. I get to Zanzibar, which is an island outside of it's part of Tanzania, but it's outside of Tanzania, whatnot. Like a 15-minute flight, or you catch the ferry, pause from Dar es Salaam to Zanzibar. It's like an hour and a half boat ride, ferry ride. Get there, beautiful island. Everything was owned by Indians. I go into a store. They call them curio shops, right? Which is
Hmm.
like an antique store. A Holip. And so there was an Indian man who owned it, and he had black employees, African employees. And I forgot what happened, but this Indian went off, Holip, on one of his black employees. I'm like, whoa. I mean, completely went off on him.
Mm.
I mean, to the point where, you know, on our jobs, if our boss would have went off on us this way, we just would have had to get dragged out of there. Like blows would have been thrown, police would have been called,
Right.
and we would have been drugged out of there, right? I go to another shop. I forgot what happened, but the Indian guy started making comments on how lazy these Africans are, and these black Africans are, how lazy they are. So I had to check them. And I'm like, okay, all right. Because, part of the don't bring your Western mindset to Africa disclaimer is the Black American, there's no racism in Africa. It's tribalism. You don't be so militant when you go to Africa. But these Indians obviously didn't get that disclaimer, hold up.
Mm.
So then I'm sitting down, I got this nice, pretty, beautiful black woman in Zanzibar and Tanzanian woman in Zanzibar. We're talking. And I tell her, like, look, I'm going to Arusha I leave in a couple of days. Um, she asked me, what am I going to Arusha for? I said, I want to see the Maasai. I want to spend some more time with the Maasai on Serengeti. She tells me, Holip,
What?
the Maasai are animals. They're still stuck in the tribal days or the old days, something to that effect.
Hmm.
And I'm like, so these people who have kept their indigenous African traditions, they're backwards.
According to continental Africans.
According to continental Africans, thank you. According to continental Africans. So I said, okay, that was weird because obviously the Indians didn't get the uh, don't be militant disclaimer. Obviously they didn't get that, but the Black Americans get it. And the whole Western mindset, you had the continental Africans who were calling their own indigenous people who kept their indigenous culture in hand, their clothing, dress, whatnot, and didn't trade it in for a suit and tie and a jalabia and hijab. Those are the animals. I'm almost done, Holden. Just give me a second, I promise. Just give me a second.
Oh, take your time, brother.
That following year, I go to Namibia, which is a country that borders South Africa to the west, right? Got some beautiful Namibian women, African women, Namibian women, Black women in a place called Ondangwa. So they asked me, you come so far away from America, black man, you come so far away from America. Why are you here? I tell them, I want to go to a place called Opuwo and see the Himba. It gets quiet. They look at me, they say, you come all the way from America to see the Himba. Why? These people are backwards. These people are animals. I mean, look at them. They don't bathe. And I'm like, whoa, but they practice, and these are continental Africans, by the way.
Right.
They practice your indigenous African culture. So, okay, whatever. I go, I see them. And at this time, around this time, Holip, I'm starting to document a lot of what I do in Africa, put it up on YouTube. And I got some Africans who liked it, but I got a whole lot more of Africans. I don't know why. When I first started, Holip, Dynast. We are westernizing, keyword. We are modernizing. Why do you continue to go to the village? Why? Won't you go to the cities and document the city? Why do you continue to go to the village? And I'm like, well, the cities, like, and this is what I would tell them, like, I live in Atlanta. I live in LA. We have the best of malls. We have, I live in I live in a city, like a great city. And basically what they're doing in Africa is pretty much, as far as cities, is just pretty much trying to copy our American cities. I live in a city. So that's why I go to the villages, because that's where the culture is at. That's because the cities are westernizing and they're modernizing. No. You need to go to the city, the villages, the bush. We are westernizing now. You keep pushing this stereotype that we're just living in huts and villages. We are westernizing. Go to
wow. And they use the word westernizing.
Westernizing, modernizing.
Wow.
But for some reason, hold up. A lot of Africans want westernization and modernization. You look at it in Lagos, they're working on some projects that I think it's called Eco City or something like that. They're doing it in Kenya, they're doing it everywhere. With the help of Chinese. But around 150 years ago, I know I'm probably kind of off, almost 200 years ago, there are a group of Black Americans who left who were tired of the racism here in America and decided to go to a place called Liberia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they brought with them Western society. Like all the things that a lot of these African cities, African nations are dying, asking for, and literally dying for. You have Africans who are leaving just to get to Europe and are drowning in the Mediterranean. You have Africans who are leaving Africa to come to America or the West just to get educated. Hold up, Black Americans brought that to a place called Liberia and built all of it. But when we told the locals, hey, you know, we're going to westernize Liberia and we're going to operate a certain way, meaning that there's going to be a certain dress code and a code of conduct that you're going to have to leave in the village. But once you enter these walls of Monrovia, you're going to have to act accordingly. Oh, the Black American brought his European Western mindset. Oh, the Black American, um, uh, you know, disrespected Liberian culture. But if I'm in Namibia or if I'm in Kenya and I work in Nairobi for a corporation, a big company, for the city, you know, government. Well, my question is, can a Maasai woman from the village who's and I'm not and this is the thing, I'm not stereotyping Maasai women, but we'll just say a Maasai woman from the village who's not educated, who has on her traditional Maasai attire, can she come and get a job in the city working for a corporation, Holip, as is?
Probably not.
But for some reason, when Black Americans, the Americos, did it, we got there a coup. We were tied up to totem poles and shot and killed. And now these same Liberians, these same Africans want the shit that the damn Americo brought to Africa. These same Liberians, these same Africans are desperately trying to get to America, come to America, and enjoy the benefits that the damn America brought to Liberia.
Not only that, they're trying to get the Western culture on the continent.
But that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, we brought it, Holip.
Yeah, it was already there.
It was already there. I was reading something today, Holip. The Liberian, I think it was like 1960 or 1950. The Liberian, I think it's like GDP or GDP, I believe, was like one of the highest in the world. You don't know where it's at now?
Where?
Damn near the bottom, if not the bottom. You know, I got people in the chat room saying the Liberians brought white Jesus. Stop the show. The miracles brought white Jesus. Stop the show.
Really?
I'm in Ghana. In fact, hold on. I promise you, I'm gonna give you the mic.
No. Go ahead, brother. I'm enjoying this.
I tell my African friends, look, I'm going to Africa. I'm going to learn the indigenous religions, the animism, the voodoo, you know, Ifa. I'm going to learn it. No, Dinas, no. You be careful. I am going to pray for you in the name of Jesus before you go learn such things. So you got, we brought white Jesus, allegedly. But now I'm going to learn the indigenous religions, because obviously since the America had a Western mindset, we bought white Jesus, we didn't accept the indigenous religions. I'm going to learn the indigenous religions, but the Africans are praying for me in the name of Jesus to protect me from their indigenous religions. I mean,
Oh man.
guys, get the likes up.
This is really sad, man. Like when I was thinking about this show topic, my mindset was, man, we're gonna do a lot of clowning. But then as I hear you talk and I see the reality of the situation, it's really sad. It's disheartening.
And this is now, I'm sorry for cutting you off, bro.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the issue, Holip. I clown Black Americans all the time,
Me too.
and the Africans don't say shit.
Yep.
Dennis, you are right. The Black American, he's lost. He is, yes, Dennis, yes. I clown myself. Everybody laughs. But when I point out the issues with Africans, here they come. Dennis, you need to stop. You need to stop. You stop that. You are no good. But when I'm clowning Black Americans, it's all good. Go ahead, hold
it. Well, it's the same thing with me. It's like I'm an equal opportunity when it comes to clowning. Like if you're a clown, you get clowned. It doesn't matter whether you're an African American or you're from the continent. I've clowned African Americans for their stupidity and their nonsense, and I clown continental Africans for their nonsense. You do the same thing. But the thing that really disturbs me is the cognitive dissonance.
Right.
All right, I'm going to buy that the African American that came over to establish Liberia was evil. Let's just play devil's advocate and just accept that.
All right.
Let's accept the fact that westernized societies and modernization is deplorable and evil, and that's something that Africans want nothing to do with. Right? I'm going to buy that. So they took those evil African Americans, tied them to the totem pole, shot them and killed them. And after that, I would imagine that there was a virtual bloodbath in Africa after that. I mean, if westernization caused the death of those people, then I know. As a matter of fact, you remember that time when they tied the Chinese up to the totem pole?
No, I don't. No.
And you remember the time when they tied the Europeans and the Portuguese up to the totem pole? Oh yeah, that's right. It didn't fucking happen.
In fact, you know what? I do remember the whole up. I remember when we'll use Nigeria, for example, or Ghana, at the end of colonialism, when colonialism was over, they used to do, hold up. Do you know what they used to do?
What?
They will fly in the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, and they will have a nice big parade and going away ceremony, and they would ride around in drop top Cadillacs, waving and confetti in the air, and they have a ceremony, and Queen Elizabeth will give them a sword and some guns, and pat them on the head and say, "Hey, man, hey, Kwame Nkrumah, and the leader of Nigeria at that time. Hey, man, we're gonna give you guys a promotion."
Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, you went out on me. I didn't hear you.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that?
No, you went out on me.
I did? Okay. No, okay. So like I said, so this is what happened. So the evil Americos that were bringing that Western mindset, you know, they got tied to totem poles and shot.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, the Chinese, the Europeans, the Indians, the Lebanese, who are bringing their Western militant mindset, they didn't get shot. And we'll take it to another level, Holip. You remember at the end of colonialism, what usually happened? What took place, Holip?
What do you mean?
Okay, so what they would do, Holip, they would have they will fly in, like we'll just say Ghana or Nigeria, for example.
Mm-hmm.
They would fly in the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth. They would meet her at the airport with a nice, shiny drop top Cadillac. Her and Kwame Nkrumah and other African leaders, they would hop in the car and they would drive around the city and, confetti from the air and, celebration and military parades and people be in the streets, clapping in very, very great experience. And, at the end, Queen Elizabeth will give, Kwame Nkrumah or whoever the leader at that time was of Nigeria, a sword and pat him on the head and say, hey, you guys got a promotion now. Hey, you guys are the new managers. Congratulations.
Interesting. Did she have on traditional African garb when she did this?
No, she had a nice Tiffany dress, with Tiffany diamonds that were stolen from the Congo, and her crown, all the jewels were stolen from the Congo, and the artifacts that they stole and put in, European museums that Africans still can't give back to this day. They didn't give that shit back, and she had on her white silk gloves and, British crown gold from the Gold Coast. That's why they called it the Gold Coast. So, no traditional.
Well, wait a minute. I'm kind of confused. So they didn't tie her to a totem pole for bringing that westernization over to the continent?
They didn't tie him to a totem pole. No, they did not tie him to a totem pole. They got a happy send off. Happy send off. And like I said, at the end, Queen Elizabeth will pat him on the head and say, hey, we're going to let you Negroes run Ghana. We're going to give you Negroes a promotion and you can run Ghana. But still, reports are, I do sales. So, hey, we're going to let you Negroes run Ghana. You're going to have your own sales team and your own country in quotation marks. But make sure you check in quarterly with those numbers, and I'm still going to get my cut. Peace.
Now, I'm interested to know, because, I can't look at the chat room when I'm talking with you because I'll lose it. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody in the chat room who disagrees with you?
It's not disagreeing. Again, what we're having in the chat rooms is the issues I brought up before. When I'm dissing Black Americans is, yes, Dynas. Yes, you're right, Dynas. You're right. You're right. But when I'm just speaking the facts on Africa and Africans, it's Dynas, this is no good. No, Dynas, you're wrong. You think us Africans are just backwards.
Let's dig into this a little bit, because I like me personally, I think that a lot of the things I call them conscious community talking points. They just get repeated like a tape recorder, and people say it and they don't even know what they're talking about, but it sounds really good because they've said it so often. So I'm going to be extremely I'm trying to bend over backwards to give legitimacy to the argument of the evil African American bringing their Western mindset over to the continent. I'm bending over backwards because I want to understand the person who says that. What exactly is it that you have? What about that Western mentality do you have a problem with specifically? That's what I would like to ask the people who feel that way. When you say, oh, you're going to bring your Western mindset. Well, what Western mindset are you talking about? Are you talking about that Western mindset that Dynas just spoke about, that you want to show the world instead of your indigenous African culture? Is that the one? Like you want the one with the modernization and the running water and electricity and all of this other stuff that comes from Western modernized nations. Is that what you don't want? Because I sense a contradiction. When Diners went to the continent, they should have embraced. Oh wow, you want to learn about our traditional African culture? There should have been a bright, like their eyes should have lit up when you said that.
And I say it's so weird, Holip, because I'm going to tell you where the confusion lies. I'm going to tell you right now, and I've said this before. Everybody said it was Africans versus African Americans. Hold up, it's the Africans in the West who have the issue with it. Because when I go to Africa, it's not as bad of an issue. It is somewhat depending on where I'm at. Versus the ones here in America. It's like here in America, it's just like, boy, if it's not white Jesus, bad weaves, it's weird. But somebody in the chat room said something, and I want to read this comment. Zibo Batua, he's from the Ivory Coast. He says, "Dine is true though. I'm from the Ivory Coast. When a French president comes to the Ivory Coast, I remember school was canceled in the entire country. But when an African president traveled there, we don't cancel school."
I just want to know, how come these people are not put on totem poles and killed? Because obviously, Westernization and modernization is evil.
Right.
I want to know who else is getting killed. Is anybody else getting put on these totem poles and getting killed besides the African American? Anybody? Is that acceptable? I mean, I'm trying to understand. I'm really trying to see things from you guys' point of view and try to understand so that I don't just label you as a complete, total, full of shit, bitch ass nigga. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. So I'm trying to understand where you're coming from.
All right, so Andaria Medlock says bad weaves. Excuse me. Andaria, you got to understand. And I'm going to do another video on this later. It's just I had to keep it balanced. It's usually a Nigerian woman with a bad weave, chasing white daddy, loves white Jesus, with a fake Louis Vuitton purse, more, I would say, materialistic than the Black American woman, trying to tell some Black Americans we don't have no culture. Western minds, bad weaves, but got the nerve to talk about some Western mindset. Skin bleach, but got the nerve to talk about some Western mindset.
So nobody's really disagreeing with you. The only thing they're mad at is the fact that you're talking about it.
How can they disagree? Hold up.
They can't. You know, but I get this all the time. It's like nobody ever addresses your points. What they're going to do is they want to attack you. It's an ad hominem attacks against you, because then they don't have to address your point. You know, what you're saying is just like in the air, just ether. You know, it doesn't really matter. Then you start defending yourself, and then the whole point is lost. It's a technique that they use over and over again. I'm so used to it.
Stop the show. Love Leela. You live in Kenya. Can a Maasai woman straight from Serengeti or Kisarian, as is, come to the city of Nairobi and get a job in one of those government buildings, one of those high rises, and one of those corporations, as is, in Nairobi? Tell the truth. Shame the devil. All right, go ahead, Holip.
I wonder if you're going to get an answer to that question.
Come on now.
I'm going to predict no. I'm going to predict no, because I've asked a lot of direct questions and I don't get answers to it. We haven't gotten any answers to the questions that we've asked today. I want to know if Africa must have been a bloodbath after that Liberian coup. It must have been a bloodbath. Nobody could come there with Westernization and modernization after that, because that is evil. Oh, well, wait a minute. Somebody, I think the popular meme is that we What did you say? I think you had said it best.
But oh damn, hold up. I hate to cut you off, man, but somebody's brought something up in the chat room.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But guess who could wear the traditional clothing in businesses in corporate America and Africa? Guess who can? Guess.
Who can wear traditional clothing?
Guess who can wear their traditional clothing, okay, in corporate Africa, in the big cities?
Oh, probably everybody else but us.
There you go. If the Arab came in there and his traditional Muslim attire, he will be just fine.
I'll give you another one. We always hear that we have to change our names. Like we don't want to have an African sounding name or a black whatever sounding name because that's going to, put a hindrance on us in terms of our careers. But yet that doesn't apply to Gansham, Ramanamsham, and all the rest of these dudes who come in here.
Oh no,
that doesn't apply to them. They can keep their name.
No. In fact, let's Western mindset. Dinus, the Liberian, we had to change our African name to an English name, the Liberian. The Americo made us change our name. Let me address that. So I'm in America, obviously. I run into plenty of Africans from Africa. And I asked them, what is your name? Where are you from? I'm from Togo or Benin or Nigeria. What is your name? William Johnson. How? How? Okay. Now you're born, you're Nigerian or Togolese or from Benin, Kenyan. How is your name William Johnson? In fact, this is what I asked them. What is your African name? They tell me their African name. So why don't you go by your African name now? This is the excuse I get. Because excuse number one. Well, my parents gave me a proper Christian name, a proper Catholic name. That is my Catholic name, my proper Christian name, my proper
Can I ask the
Catholic
question?
name. Yeah.
How did he go on with his life after he put his parents up on a totem pole and shot them? What type of life did he live after he killed his parents?
Forgiving him for forcing that Western mindset on him.
As a matter of fact, did he kill the people that asked him to change his name?
Of course not. They still got missions and they're building churches right now as we speak still over there.
Wow. You get clowned. I'm sorry. You think that just because you from the continent, you ain't gonna get clowned when you on some bullshit like that? It would be, as a matter of fact, people should stop listening to us if we refuse to clown that type of nonsense. Because that means that we ain't real. What do you expect? Really, like, what do you expect from us? I mean, there's a reason why we keep bringing these issues up, and it's because of the contradictions and the bullshit, man. Only people I see dying, and you know what? I said this before about the Nation of Islam. All of this tough talk about the white man is the devil. Who have you killed?
Malcolm X.
Yep.
Yeah, I said it.
Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad. I ain't leaving him out. I notice only black people is dying. I remember before, and I hate going back into this history with Farrakhan, but I remember him saying something about back in his days about how they should have cut Malcolm's tongue out and delivered it to, and all this other crazy shit. The only people I see us doing any type of damage to is ourselves, people that look like us. Mm-hmm. You got the energy and you can mount up all this aggression to kill us. What makes you any different than, and then you want to preach to the Crips and the Bloods? You want to preach to them about black on black crime?
And somebody said in the chat room, but they support Ron L. Hubbard.
Don't even get me started on that.
Bro, I respect. I got friends in the nation. I respect them. I mean, I do.
So do I. And I'm real with them. Everything I'm saying right now, I've said to them face to face. You know, I mean, actually, it's always a disconnect because the brothers and the sisters in all organizations that I've ever met, I got love for. I don't even give a damn if you can be a Christian. I know plenty of righteous Christians who are good people. You know what I'm saying? But it's always the disconnect between that and the leadership. And I always have to draw that distinction because the leadership is not always thinking in the same interest as the group is. It's just like with the Million Man March. When I went to the Million Man March, the best thing about the Million Man March was the brothers that were there.
Right.
But unfortunately, the people that ran that whole thing had a different agenda. And you can see the fruits that it bore because it bore no fruit. And it did more damage than it did good in retrospect. At the time, it felt really good. But in retrospect, looking back, it did more damage than it did good because I don't think that will ever happen again. I don't think that you will ever get Black people that passionate about something again, like on that level. I just don't see it. Because and if you notice, and I was going to touch on this too. There's this standoffish approach that everybody has, and this is the reason why, like, people talk about unity and getting together. It's hard to do that because everybody has this standoffish approach to everything. It's like when we talk about the BAIO. The BAIO is a social network, right?
Right.
There's no charismatic leader there that you're going to follow and go running through the hills like Braveheart. It's basically like you connecting with people in your area, finding out people of like mind in your area. Because I'm of the opinion that if anything is going to get done, it's going to get done by people of like mind. I'm not into convincing Negroes. So if you don't feel that Africa should be united, then I really don't have no conversation for you. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. You a bootlicking nigga, and I want you out of my face so I can talk to a brother like Dynas or other brothers who are about Black unity, African unity, Pan-Africanism, gaining power, socioeconomic and political power. Those are the people that we are going to build with. The naysayers, the people that stand on the side, the people that refuse to even sign their name to a site. Why are we wasting our time trying to convince them of anything? They're not. This is what we're doing now for a lot of people is entertainment, Dynas. They tune in to be entertained. That's just the reality. And then there's a few people out of those. If you take 100 people, there may be like 5% of those 100 people who actually are interested in meeting other people and signing up and congregating and networking with people of like mind. And that's just the reality. I've accepted it. It's made my life a lot simpler. It's made things less frustrating for me. I mean, I still get angry and I still get frustrated, but I don't get disheartened that much because I know, like, I'm in a constant circle of people of like mind who are about the same thing that I'm about.
All right.
I mean, just being on this show is therapeutic for me.
Absolutely. Everybody, we have 226 people watching and only 101 likes. Please hit that like button. So hold up. Where do we go from here, man? Where do we go from here, man? Because this is what we got. And the thing is, I have to keep addressing this. I have to. Because when we speak on Liberia, and I'm gonna keep speaking on Liberia. People keep saying, stop bringing it up. See, that's the thing. They don't want to talk about it anymore because we're just hitting them with too much truth. Motherfuckers fucked up on the other end.
Yeah.
They fucked up. I mean, let's just keep it real. Everything you guys want, the damn Westernism and modernization, Black Americans brought that over 150 years ago. And you guys rejected it and put.
Well, Dynas, let me ask you a question. Because Let's let bygones be bygones.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
What's done is done. The damage has already been done. We see that what Liberia has turned into after the coup. So I doubt if you can find even the most hardcore anti, African American Americo who is satisfied with the condition of Liberia. Is there anybody in the chat room that really thinks that Liberia is just a great place to be? Anybody? Does anybody think that what happened was actually a good thing? Because if it was a good thing, wouldn't the country be thriving and prospering right now?
No, no. Okay, here goes the objection.
Oh,
see, Holip, your mindset is the same mindset of the Afrikaner, the same mindset of the European after he left after colonialism.
And how would that be? Like, how is my mindset the same?
They say the same thing. They say that if they would have stayed, if the Afrikaner lead, if the Africa, okay, here we go, Zimbabwe. If Zimbabwe was still Rhodesia and under white rule, it would be fine like it was before Mugabe took over. So when you Black Americans say that Liberia is better was better back when under America rule than it is now, you sound like a Afrikaner.
Well, my question is simple. Is it? All of that mumbo jumbo don't mean shit to me. Is it or is it not? Is it better now than it was before when the African Americans brought this westernized mindset over to the continent? Simple yes or no, which we're not going to get. Nobody's going to answer that. Because if you answer that, it exposes you. So what you're going to do is you're going to dodge, and you're going to go to the, Dynas, you talking this shit. I don't understand why you be talking. In other words, I'm not going to address any of the points that we're making. I'm just going to cry and bitch because you're making them. Well, that's a good strategy. I just hope people are seeing it.
All right, so Love Leo, the girl in Kenya, says, absolutely, yes, she works for the UN with her traditional clothes. The UN, the let me come and save Africans from themselves, UN. That's who she works for. So yes, I believe that she's allowed to wear her traditional clothes at the UN because the UN.
That's not what you asked. You said corporate America, right?
Corporate
or corporate offices.
Corporate offices. Yes.
Okay.
But the UN is let me save Africans from the self, United Nations. That's what that's code for.
Oh my God.
Somebody just said in the chat, the UN respects Africa more than Africa. God damn. All right, let's keep it positive.
You know, what's really sad to me. Oh no, let's get back to the point I was making about the forgive and forget. I'm gonna get back to that. Hey, water under the bridge. Hey, what's done is done. But now it's been clearly established, and especially Dynas is a witness. It's been clearly established that westernization and modernization is what the continental African appreciates more than their traditional African culture at this point. Can we agree on that? Or are we in disagreement about that? Because I can't even go on until we address that. Are we in agreement that modernization and westernization is what the continental African wants compared to their traditional African culture? Is that a true statement that I'm making, or am I just making up some bullshit? Any responses to that in the chat room? I'm not looking. Anybody? Yes, no? What they saying down there?
Let's discuss the solutions.
Oh. We can discuss the solutions. I'm just trying to make this point. Is that what the continental African wants at this point? They may not have wanted it back when they shot these people on the totem pole, but do they want it now? Do they want westernization and modernization now, or do they want to practice their indigenous African culture? Yes or no? Which one? Is anybody answering?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I'll make my point.
Somebody says, can there be a balance of both? One brother says, yep, Dynast. No one says no clear answer here. Somebody says they want what the white man has.
Okay. So let's just assume, I'm going to assume that yes, this is what they want. Why not work with African Americans now? Since we've gotten over the westernization mindset, and that talking point has been smashed and it is out the window, because obviously you want the Western mindset now. Why can't you work with African Americans now? And please don't say because you're going to bring your Western mindset over, because then we're going backwards again.
And hold on one second. Lumani Lala. So, okay. When I'm in the car, when I'm in Senegal, all right, the women who are working at the, we call them flea markets. Okay. The flea markets, the bazaars, whatever you call it, they're dressed traditional. But when you get to downtown, when you get to the, go to like, these corporate hotels, these big chain hotels, again, when it's corporate, they're dressed very westernized. But again, when you go to like the flea markets and all of that, like where I get my fabric from, they're dressed traditional. Again, when business is being, how can I put it? When westernized type business is being conducted in Africa, people are dressed westernized. But if you are hustling on the street or at a flea market selling fabrics and all that good stuff, yeah, people are in the traditional clothing. That's what I've experienced all over Africa, all over. So like, here we go. As far as like when you go into these government buildings, for the most part, these women are dressed westernized. They got on a stilettos, their skirts, their blouses or whatnot. They're not in traditional African attire until you get to like the markets, where it's straight grind and hustle.
Also, if you're against westernization and modernization, why even come to America? Like, what's the purpose of coming to America to try to stay here and live? I mean, is that a fair question?
When America brought it to you.
Right, like people usually ask, what does the African American have to offer Africa? Well, we already did it. It was already, what we had to offer was already done.
Right. And then Lumani Lala responds, yes, Dynast, it is just like the dress code they have all over the world, even when you travel to Asia, because those companies are mostly Western type of businesses. I prove my point. All right, go ahead.
And it's good to, like we gave the disclaimer at the beginning of the show. I don't want people to think that this is an African American versus continental African thing, because that's not what this is. That's not what we're addressing. What we're addressing is the hypocrisy of saying that you don't want westernization and modernization, and we're bringing our Western mindset over to the continent, where people is running roughshod on the continent now. Nobody's being shot against no goddamn totem poles. If you're anti-Westernization, then Chinese and Europeans should be dying like flies right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Why isn't this angst and this anger and this hostility directed at them or the Indian? And we're the idiots for pointing this out? Where there's a contingency of African Americans that want nothing more than to work with continental Africans. And I'm quite sure that there's some continental Africa, because see, this is the thing. Usually the smart and the reasonable voices get drowned out by the morons. So the continental African on the continent who wants to work with African Americans is probably experiencing the same problem that we are here in America, trying to make our voice known that we want to work with continental Africans. You got a bunch of dipshits and morons who throwing turds in the punch bowl, who just want black folks to be perpetually miserable. To live, they not only do they want their black folks currently to live miserably, they want their offspring to live miserably. They don't want our people to have a vision for the future that includes power. This is why I'm gonna tell you, man. This is the reason why I don't allow coons even present. If I see that a coon is present in the chat, I'm kicking his fucking ass out. If you have an alternate view or some opposing view to nationhood, get the fuck out of the forum. Why are we entertaining you? Because all these people do, it's like it gets us caught up in these back and forths that go nowhere. And that's the whole purpose. We can't get anything done because we're not dealing with people of like mind. We're always dealing with coons and idiots and Negroes who don't really have a point. Their only point is to go against whatever point that you're trying to make to bring about some progress and some change. I call it the yeah, but movement. Every time you present something that's positive or something that makes sense, yeah, but da 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 da. Yeah, but da 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 da. That's all you're gonna hear from these niggas. So this is not no African American versus continental African thing. We need each other, man. That's the bottom line. Does anybody out there want Africa to be for Africans? Are we just comfortable with East Indians, Chinese, Europeans, all these ethnic groups just coming in and carving up the continent for themselves? That's what our vision of the future is for our people and for Africa? And if I say that, I'm Eric Killmonger for saying it?
Killmonger.
I can't deal with this, man. I really can't. I can't deal with these Negroes, man. I got to keep these Negroes away from me, and I got to keep them out of our cipher, because unless we can get amongst people of like mind, we're going to be dealing with these idiots going back and forth all day damn long.
Somebody called you Holip monger.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But that's why I'm gonna tell you, Dinez, and this is just to give props to you, because you basically were like a lifeline for this particular movement, to be honest with you. Because we were struggling, man. We struggle, and we get frustrated, and we dealing with coons and back and forths and people attacking us left and right. It's nice to know that somebody can come out here, and I like your demeanor and your personality on camera. It's not hostile, it's real, and that's the reason why you're getting so much traffic and so many people are attracted to what you're saying, because it's real.
Right.
And that's to be commended. And I hope that people support you. And like I said, you at 20K now, you should be at 30K soon. Hopefully.
I think I'm at 21K now. Hold on. Let me.
That's good. Oh, I want to mention, you know what? I'm so bad at plugging my stuff. Can I do a plug?
I'm officially at 21,000.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. We got 9,000 to go.
Yeah.
On my channel, getting to 3,000 subscribers, which is a big deal for me because I was over 3,000 and then I got suspended and it kind of knocked me off. So I had to build my channel back up.
Let me ask you this. How do you get suspended? I don't understand how this works.
You know what's crazy? Like I did videos that should have got me suspended and it didn't. And the video that got me suspended was this video I did called it had something to do with the white man on the brain disease.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about how we use the white man constantly and we concentrate like the white man is at the center of our universe and we need to start concentrating on ourselves. It was relatively mild compared to what I usually do. That got flagged. People started flagging that. And then once you get flagged enough, they'll knock you off. And this is the reason why I have a zero tolerance for coons. When I find out that you are diametrically opposed to what I'm about, I'm blocking and kicking your ass out the cipher. Like there's some dude on YouTube who is my bitch. He's been following me around. Like he's been holding. You know how they in prison when you hold the back of the guy's pants and walk around with him. That's who he is to me on YouTube.
I don't know about that one. I watch prison movies, and I've never been to prison, so I don't know about that one.
I think his name. You know that you a clown when your username is how you give head.
Well, okay, yeah. That's pause. Stop the show. Okay.
I think his username is gives mad head.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's
you seen him?
Let's just stop. I don't. Let's just change the subject. That just
like these clowns and stuff like that. Come on, like you got to block these people. You got to block them because if you allow them to stay around, they're gonna be your demise. Trust me. They're gonna be your demise. So if once you see that somebody is diametrically opposed, you kick them out the cipher. Because if you ain't about what I'm about, then why are you up in my? Do you see us going into white supremacist chat rooms?
No.
Why? Why would we go there? I'm gonna go to white supremacists. I'm gonna go. Am I going up to? They don't even go to Native American forums. You would think since you was here first. Why are you in a Black nationalist forum? Why don't you go over to the Native American forum and smoke some peace pipes with them?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you, if they always up in our cipher, you know why? Because we are where the energy is at. And they have to try to derail this energy. Like Kala said it on the show with you the other night. Black Panther made over $1 billion. So what did they do? Oh, we're gonna take it back to the 70s.
Superfly. We're
gonna come out with Superfly. And it drew just that, flies. Because we're not going backwards, man. It's not happening. This train is going forward. Nationhood is going forward. And you can come with all of this bullshit that you want to. You can come with this flat earth bullshit. You can come with we was here first, Turtle Island bullshit. You can do all of that shit that you want because nobody's going to your forums. Nobody gives a shit about what you're saying.
Hey, Holip, did you see the video? I think you sent it to me or Colin sent it to me. As far was it the Metaphysical Masters?
I don't think it was me. It's probably Colin.
But did you watch that video, bro?
No. What was that about?
Oh my god! Just paperwork status and Moors and just paperwork and getting your status correction, and you should have just god, you gotta watch this video, bro.
You know what? They've been preaching.
It was just so funny because the thing is, man, a lot like I used to listen to this stuff back in the day, but it's just like you wake up because I had I woke up when these cats were talking all this status correction. Your birth certificate is your bond, is like $25,000 worth, and they have to give it to you through your social security number. But then after all of that pseudoism, hold up, brother, can I get $30 for my phone bill? Like, and it's just like, well, if your bond, your birth certificate, your social security number is connected to your bond, and you know, you're indigenous, so they can't arrest you, and you know, you're a Mo, you're an indigenous Mo. You know, the earth is flat. You know,
Oh my God, yo, Dinus,
listen,
Dinus.
you could go through different dimensions, and you know, you could be in South Africa, and see, you don't need to catch a plane to Africa, because here in America, in Harlem, dimensionally, you could travel interdimensionally and be in Johannesburg right now at the same time. You don't need to catch a plane. But brother,
Yo,
can I get $50 to pay my phone bill?
you Dinus, I gotta address because I'm looking in the chat room.
Okay.
I'm looking in the chat room, and I just want to address the flat Earth thing. Can I just address that?
Go ahead.
Because I you know, and keep in mind, I don't want to because a lot of times when people come out and they kick this so-called knowledge, if you don't know certain things, you'll start thinking, "Ooh, this shit is deep."
Hey, bro, I was like that, bro. I'm like, oh, shit, I don't need to go to Africa. I can be in LA and if I just hit all my chakras, all my green light chakras and astral project, I can astral project to Johannesburg, and I don't need to, I can just fly there. I don't need to get a flight. Oh yeah, I'm with this shit.
Oh my God. Let me just say, I just want to do this. This is the nail in the coffin for the flat earther. If the earth is flat, I want you to explain a lunar eclipse. First of all, tell me, what is a lunar eclipse? What is a lunar eclipse? Because you can literally see the spear of the earth in the eclipse. Discussion over. Discussion is over. What are we talking about this for? That's all I had to say. Do a search on, first of all, find out what a lunar eclipse is. I'm not even going to tell you. You go and find out what it is. What's the position of the earth, the moon, and the sun in a lunar eclipse? And if you say that, oh, well, that's not real, explain this. How can you cast a shadow when the light source and the other source is above the object? I mean, after that, I can't really talk to you because it means that you're not really reasonable. You're not looking at facts. And there ain't no damn dome or no, oh, come on, man. Come on. So you see a dome shape when there's a lunar eclipse? That's what you see? You know what? Let's go on to something else. I can't do it.
No, man,
I can't do it.
No, I mean that's really it, man. I think we covered everything, but I want to end it on a positive note.
Yes.
Once again, Africa wins, everyone wins.
Definitely. If what the Killmonger version of the Holip manga version of Africa turns out to be, then Africa's going to be in pretty good shape. And I want to just say, oh, you went out on me. Are you still there?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to Aunt Nam for actually making it through the entire thing without getting kicked out the chat room. That is very impressive. That's impressive because you're a blithering idiot. So the fact that a blithering idiot can actually exist in the chat room for that amount of time is impressive feat indeed. I want to say something. Oh, I was going to plug myself.
No, go ahead, please.
I'm giving away a book. I've reached the 3,000 subscriber mark, and I'm giving away a book. I'm giving it away. You don't have to pay for nothing. All you have to do is put the hashtag BAIO and hashtag LIN in a post. You can put it on Twitter. You can put it on Facebook.
Brother,
or you can put it on Instagram.
Type it in the chat room.
Yeah. It goes just like this. BAIO and hashtag LIN. You can put it, be a subscriber, of course, to my channel on YouTube. And then I'm going to have a random thing. I got a program that picks it randomly. And then I'm going to give that book away. And if you want to know what book it is, you can go to my channel, and I have it on my last video. Even Aunt Nam would be eligible if he put, BAIO LIN. So I'm not discriminating. Even a bootlicking Negro can win, because luck might be on your side.
No, somebody says no Ubuntu in the chat room, just angry blacks. But the thing is, when I'm dissing Black Americans, oh man, get them, Dinus, get them, get them.
Oh.
Yeah, man. But hold it, man. It was, as always, man, great show.
Yeah, and thank you, man. I thank you because like what made me even want to be a part of this was what you said, and I never really thought about it that way. It's like I kept hearing, bring in your Western mindset, bring your Western mindset. And you were the first person I heard point it out like that. It's like Western mindset, you don't even practice your own indigenous religion, your own indigenous culture. You running away from it, and you want westernization and modernization, but then you telling the African American, don't bring westernization and modernization over to the continent. When we brought it there already and you rejected it, now you want it from the Chinese. You want it from the East Indian. You want it from the European. So a contradiction is a contradiction. An idiot is an idiot. An Aunt Nam is an Aunt Nam. What can I say?
But Aunt Nam is still eligible to win your book, though.
Yes, he is eligible, because even idiots, as long as they put hashtag BAIO and hashtag LIN, you are eligible to win that book.
Oh, God. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah. Hey, plug your YouTube page as well. Go ahead and put it in the chat room. Go ahead and plug.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what?
Shout out to Interred. Thank you, Interred, for the support. Interred is just awesome.
Oh, she's definitely real.
Yeah.
Love her. Love her. And she shows, real support. Like she shares the video, she participates.
Interred says at least Duke of York isn't here.
Oh yeah, that's another one of my. Even he can win.
Yeah, even Duke of York.
Give Duke of York the hashtag BAIO and LIN. He has a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of the book, oh, by the way, is called The Art of Systems Thinking. It was one of the books that helped me reach the conclusions that I came in regards to this system and in regards to the issue of Black empowerment, African empowerment, Pan-Africanism, and all of that. What I felt the solution was land infrastructure nationhood. And this is one of the books that helped me come to that conclusion. Because the big takeaway from the book is a system, the purpose of a system is to maintain itself. A system is not here to fix anything. So when you see a police system, the system is not designed to stop crime. It's to keep a police system. So whatever you create a system for, it is there to maintain itself. So why not create a system of nationhood? Because it will maintain itself. Oh, I'm at 3,000. Thank you. And I want to put my
shout out to Brian Hooper, who's in the chat room as well, brother Brian.
Brian, another cool dude. Mm-hmm. And there's oh shit, it won't let me do it.
Oh, you know what? That's right. What is it, Holip?
Well, the username is Mr. Holip Sism. If you do it, you can either search for Mr. Holip Sism or you can do a search for Holip. This Holip guy sounds like a disrespectful person. Yes, I am, Love Layla. I'm very disrespectful to bootlicking niggas. Guilty as charged. But you can look it up as Holip, HOLIP, Sism, SISM, or Mr. Holip Sism. Either one, you're gonna get my channel. But I will say this though, I'm not a politician. I'm not running for office, so that way I can speak the way that I want to speak. And if you don't like it, you can listen to somebody else, or you don't have to listen to me at all. That's the beautiful thing about having, free speech and not being beholden to anybody, because nobody can tell me how to speak. So I can be crass and caustic. I can be loving and gentle at the same time. Depends on what type of Negro is in my face.
All right. Hey, Brad Shear says, she says, I love righteousness, strong, disrespectful brothers. So make sure you go subscribe to
Thank
Brother
you.
Holip Sism's page.
Thank you. Thank you. I will never disrespect people who's respectful to me. I'm not like that. But if you come into the cipher on some BS, on some Ant Nam, Book of what's it, Duke of York stuff, then expect to get some disrespect.
There's another one that trolls me called Baba Tunde Swanda. I call him.
It's all of them clowns. It's first of all, why are you so shocked that I'm disrespecting you? So this is a one-way deal. Like you're gonna be taking shots at me and Dynas, and we just supposed to sit back and say nothing because we're trying to be above the fray. No,
Yeah,
nigga, I'm cursing you out. I'm clowning you.
Yeah.
I had to clown some people in your comment section because they was going at you in the comment section.
Of course.
Ant Nam. Make sure you put the hashtag, dude.
Yeah,
Get it right.
All right.
But anyway, Dynas, I'm getting out of here.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, brother. Guys, thank you for joining us. Make sure you share and like the video if you didn't super chat. Make sure you go to search-for-huru.com, dynasamir.com, africapersonified.africa. Also go to amazon.com, search your name, Dynasamir. And make sure you go to Search for Huru and Africa Personified on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Until next time, family, peace.
Peace.